Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Give us a few minutes and we'll begin. Hi, Deepak. Welcome.
Hi, Seema.
Is it raining very heavily in Bombay today?
Yes. Finally, it started. Just yesterday, I was telling someone, it's not come yet. The rain has not yet started. But today, yes, we got to see a lot of rain.
Okay. And was it a work from home day or was it a holiday today?
It was work from home. Saturdays. It's a Saturday. It's a weekend for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But now you have a weekend, right?
Yes. Had a great day. Yeah.
Okay. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. I believe someone's joining us from Nigeria. This is Mr. Vani, I think. Thank you. We'll just wait for another couple of minutes and then we'll begin.
Sure.
It's really an informal conversation, everyone. We just wanted to invite some of our learners. We now have over 100 people who've enrolled in the Harappa School of Leadership, which is actually less than 9 months old. So we are hoping, we are now also putting together our 4th batch, hoping to start. So basically, before we finish the year, we want to make sure every quarter we had a batch. So the next one is scheduled to start from September. And but this is really a conversation between Deepak, who was one of our first cohort 1 learners. And maybe Deepak, if you can just begin the conversation by telling everyone a little about yourself, who you are, where you come from.
Okay. About myself, I would say that I am from Delhi. I've been in Bombay for last 7 years now. Moved here in around 2016. Before that, I was like, just a little bit of background. What I was in Delhi doing in Delhi was basically I was working. I was in Delhi University. I did my graduation in political science honors from Ramanujan College, and from there on, I went for an internship in NDTV, where like I kind of got more conviction in pursuing journalism at that point of time. I was not really sure. I did not have my career sketched out really well for myself. But when I was in NDTV, I got to work with a lot of, prestigious anchors, big media channel for sure. So that exposure helped me in terms of defining what I wanted to really do in journalism. And that's how I got into Indian Institute of Mass Communication, which is in JNU campus, New Delhi. So again, that was a very good experience because 9 months, very sharp course, very quick course, but 9 months you are with, like some of the brightest mind who are trying to aspire and get into journalism. And these are all very intellectual and how would I say, like I will say these people love to debate, right? Debate about topics. So that was kind of my thing. I was looking for that kind of exposure at that point of time. And that helped, that really helped me because while I was in NDTV for 2 years, I was doing internship there, and I was also pursuing journalism from IIMC. That all came together, and I finally landed up my first official payroll-wise job in Z Media, where I started working as a social media staff reporter. And gradually, I made my way into being a technology reporter for them. So I used to report consumer tech reviews, consumer tech news for Boy Genius Report, which was like sort of my good stint of like 1.5 years. And from there on, my career actually started shaping up because I got to know about this company called Visa, where I spent like 5 years of my career. And I actually went in as a content writer then. And it just so happened that everything planned out, it just started panning out really well for me, where I became I started heading their marketing strategies, their sales strategies, all basis skills of, I think I spoke to one of the faculty members here, and when they asked me, I told them like, so far my boat sailed because of good common sense, nothing else. It was just skills and some common sense. But there exactly is where I found my need to go for a management certification program, and that's how I ended up, coming to know about Harappa School of Leadership. Seema, you're on mute.
So at the time when you were looking out, how many years were you already in your career? Was it
I was already 7 years, almost 7 years.
7 years?
Yes, yes.
And
Two
is
years
that
of journalism and 5 years of content and marketing.
okay? So normally at that point, people are looking for, say, the next upskilling or the next sort of this thing, and you felt that you needed to do some sort of management training.
Right.
So why not an MBA? Why not a traditional MBA?
Um, I I had my own reasons for not going for a full-fledged MBA course. Like if I could say that there was not no flexibility for me to quit my job and go for a full-fledged 2 MBA MBA course. I could definitely not do that in on-campus situation. Uh, Online distance learning, I also didn't want that for 2 years. It's too huge, of course. Timeline is too too spread out for me. I felt so. My primary reason for looking for a short term course, which can give me as much information and it can keep me in a momentum, was basically I wanted to pivot really fast where I was in my previous company from where I am right now. I wanted to pivot really fast, and that's how. While I was already pursuing, I was chasing that pivot. Harappa just became like very instrumental for me for real. I would say like of course there was like a lot of hullabaloo around being the first cohort of online education institution. How do you go about it? You have your own risk, you have your own thoughts about it. People tell you things, but I came to know about Harappa from very credible sources. I would say not like very like I did not know them in person, but from very credible sources, and I thought of like taking my chances, and I would really say that it panned out really well for me. Like it's been almost post Harappa, it's been almost around like 2.5 months when we ended our course, and I have been able to use my learnings, whatever I took away from the course during while I was still at my previous job and the job that I'm working where I'm working with Accenture now, and I'm able to use all the project management skills, the product management skills. Some of those knowledge has just made me very it has put me in a very familiar zone where I was not finding myself earlier. I was doing marketing, I was helping a brand, but I was kind of not very sure because my foundations were still good common sense and just some skills. You have to have the theory right, you have to have the understanding, the concepts, the basics right, and that was something that I always felt that could put me in a place where I would not know a lot. So I had to go ahead and upskill myself. I had to go ahead and find that knowledge for myself and put myself in a 6 months, 7 months program wherever I can, and just make that as a habit that every Saturday, Sunday, you're waking up, you're reading, you're studying for like 4 or 5 hours. And I don't know, I can't speak for others, but I can speak for myself. And I say, being in a job where you're already working and then taking that pain of upskilling yourself, and you're thinking that okay, today we live in a generation where everything is accessible to you. You can go on YouTube, you can learn different courses, different topics, subjects, all that is fine, but I feel the systematic learning and a community that learns with you together and is trying to make something build something together, that is really important. So I think Harappa was instrumental in that, providing me that community and providing me that systematic
So when you were shopping for courses, was there a specific curriculum that you were looking for? Was it the faculty that interested you, or was
so
it just the duration? Was it the what was the maybe if I could ask you, what was the one top thing or the or two sort of factors that helped you to think I from what I can hear, you're saying that you couldn't take a full-time MBA, you couldn't do that. So definitely the time frame, the 6 months was probably attractive.
yeah.
But what else?
So, okay, so because I come from a digital marketing background, I understand how targeted ads work. Okay, and I'll say this to you that while I was, looking out for the courses, I found out what many institutions today are offering is basically someone will offer you a project management course for 3 months. Someone will offer you data science course for 3 months. You can go ahead and you can pay a hefty amount. You can go ahead and do those for 3 months, then figure out your way. Probably you find, okay, 3 months, I have done this, I'm not finding the value in it. Maybe I should try data science. You go ahead and do 3 months of data science, and then you find, okay, probably this was not again my cup of tea. So I was not ready to risk that for myself. As I said, like I had a very sharp timeline for myself to pivot, and I wanted that knowledge, that skill set, upskilling myself in all that time frame. And that was very unique about Harappa, that it was offering around 5 to 6 different tracks within 6 months. And I felt, of course, you have your own doubts. You go ahead and think, okay, 6 months is too short of a time to cover so many topics. Will you be able to go? But I think as it was advertised to us that, they prepare you for industry level knowledge and something that you can go ahead and start using in industry. And when you join the course, you realize that, okay, 6 months I actually only got the information that was needed from me. So a lot of irrelevant information. I would not say that it was a waste of resource or anything, but you are provided with relevant and quick information in 6 months. And that's all you need to basically set yourself for the next level of growth that you want from yourself.
And would you say having live classes was also an important aspect? Because a lot of management courses and everything have asynchronous or recorded content that you're consuming, and then you give some quizzes and tests and move on.
Yeah.
This is
as I said, like today learning is mostly for everyone is self-paced. You go and as I said, like you can go on YouTube, you can start reading about a topic and you can watch 50 videos in a day. And then next day you don't watch anything. Next week you don't watch anything. And 3 months later you're like, okay, ठीक है, एक दिन बैठ के 50 videos देखे थे, I got the knowledge, but now I've not been able to use it. And that is why I think live classes was important part of the whole program. You come every day, it was more like, okay, you didn't just go to physical class. That was the only thing that was not there. Other than that, I think every 6 months when I was pursuing the course, as I think I said it during my speech as well. Yeah, convocation speech, that every morning when I would wake up and I'll see these 50 people with me on camera, I would always think that, okay, all of these people took that risk. Every day they are coming up, they are committing themselves to something. And that is something that is needed. I think when you're learning, that's what happened to us in school or college. You were committed to go to a place and seek some knowledge out of it. And that is what I was saying, that it becomes very difficult when you're in a professional setup and you're trying to upskill yourself. You tend to go a little easy on yourself or lazy on yourself. And that is the barrier I think was supposed to be broken. And the live classes definitely did that for me. At least it did it for me.
Okay, so we have a quick question, and I'm wondering, I'm not sure how, if you will be able to help in the first part of the question. This is Karan Kumar. He says that his expectation from the Harappa School of Leadership is to enhance his leadership skills, which he thinks he is lacking to some extent. He wants to know how HSOL can help him in that. He's also given a little background about himself. He's obtained a CMA certification and has about 1.5 years of experience in cost and pricing in the retail industry. He also wants to know how Harappa can help him, or how AMP can help him in assisting or advancing his finance career. I'm not sure if Deepak can answer the first part. And I'm happy, Karan, to have someone, connect with you and answer. But just before Deepak takes on the leadership part, I think we do have a finance track, and our learning from the first cohort was we do have a very, very, what should I say? I think he's an excellent faculty. I think the first cohort wanted some things to change, and we did change that. So by the time, like, for example, the third cohort, what we do is a finance 101. And then we also do a entrepreneurial finance. So there are actually 2 finance tracks that are running in the third cohort. Finance is, you already have that knowledge. It's the knowledge outside it, which is marketing, data, economics, strategy. All of that, we believe, is what will be very, very relevant for you to be able to advance your career. I'll move to the second part of the question, which was about leadership and how was that track. And
so I think it's Karan, right? Karan, I would say the track will definitely help you as long as you are able to extract the information that you need. And the key part is that you need to go ahead and apply those things in your work arena. What I'll say about like, okay, you are being taught leadership firstly by Pramod sir himself. And I'm sure he's like an epitome of, telling you how a leader can fail. I think it's very important for us. And that's what Pramod sir also told. Like there are many opportunities and there are many situations when a leader fails. And that's where the biggest learnings come. And that's when you learn how to become a better leader than before. And personally for me as well, as I said, like if I can just give you a quick example about how I've started applying the kind of knowledge that I've got from Harappa. After taking the leadership, entrepreneurship, project management, and all these courses together in 6 months, I think I was very confident to go ahead and sit down with a CEO of any company or the senior leaders of leadership of a company and just represent myself. I think leadership definitely empowers you with that, the kind of track. And I think even an hour spent with Pramod sir will just, put you, I would say, like weeks ahead of where you are today. So when he comes every weekend, he gives you those leadership lectures, he gives you those assignments and the insights. And this is something that, my former boss where I used to work, he used to also say the same thing. It takes like around 20 to 30 years for you to build your career. Careers are not built like in 2 years or 3 years of a time. It takes you 20 years to build a strong career. And more importantly, it takes you more and more years to come up with your own insights. And those insights are basically, your own mistakes and your own learnings that you start going ahead and start applying in your day-to-day work arena. So the course, I would say that definitely boosted my confidence in terms of going ahead and putting myself as I would say as a project or as a product to a company. I learned how to basically, better position myself in any company that I work now. I think this is a very personal conversation that I had with my former boss, and I told him that I forgot working like an employee in your company. I was working as one of the co-founders or as a co-partner. It doesn't matter. I think leadership is all about that. You don't have to work for the kind of role or designation that you have been provided. If you're a senior manager and if you're only going to work as a senior manager, say up until someone comes and makes you the deputy general manager, then you're never going to become DGM. You have to start working like a deputy general manager while you are at senior manager level. And that's what I think leadership track also kind of reinforced and reinstated, and it instilled those values in me, I would say.
So when the leadership track started, Deepak, what were you expecting? Were you hoping for, like, were you thinking they'll teach you organizational leadership, or did you expect frameworks that was there any one framework that stood out for you that you hadn't heard of?
I think making issue trees was like, very important, very critical for all of us. Like I could not, like today when I look at any organizational problem that comes, obviously I don't go ahead and start building out a issue tree for myself on a mural board or on a PPT. But that mental model is there now. The mental frameworks of thinking about hypothesis, thinking about issues behind those and how you can solve. And there are like various solutions that can branch out for a problem that has come up. And that was I still remember the first time I saw those mental models, those frameworks, those issue tree frameworks being taught to us. I was very I would say like I could not believe like, okay, these are also the kind of, whenever a problem comes, any which way your brain starts thinking about a lot of solutions to that problem. What is important is that to become a good leader, and which is I think which was taught to us during the session, is that can you sit down and organize those solutions first? Can you say, okay, I have 15 options. I have 15 options, which then again branch out into another 45 options. So can I just sit down and start eliminating, which is what is not needed? Because I think a good leader is also someone who knows what to eliminate at a given point of time. So yeah, so I think those frameworks really helped me today also. And during the class, so I obviously said like I was completely blown away by those models.
What about you come from a background of marketing?
Yeah.
And you were already doing that. So was any of those sessions useful to you, or was there any other track other than leadership that stood out for you?
Marketing and product management, I would say. Both the classes I really enjoyed. Marketing I enjoyed because, as I said, like I was already doing marketing for a company, and I wanted to learn from industry experts and just get that hands-on theoretical knowledge as well. You need that when you are already working on ground. You kind of have those hands-on practical experience. But as I said, theory was something that I was always felt was weak for me, and I wanted to strengthen that, and that happened. And product management is something like as a course I was really looking forward to, and it met all my expectations. Learning with Vibhor on how a product is thought about, how it is incepted, and then how it reaches to a conclusion, and how it is in the process of continual increment. So that was, I think, very interesting for me, as those two courses definitely stood out. And as I said, like I was trying to pivot from marketing into project management, and both the courses came sort of helped me. And today I am working with a company where I am working with agile methodologies, and I'm able to deliver projects as per the whole organization is trying to shift into agile methods. So I'm able to learn that, I'm able to execute, and that is helpful, I would say.
What is agile? If I can quickly test you while we are at it.
I'll tell you the definition that everyone says. Agile is a mindset. That's what they tell you. It's I think Vibhor also during one of the class he said that a perfect product is dead product. So basically, whatever product you think that you have built today, you have to stay agile with it. You have to always look for the ways to improve it and develop it in a way where you are able to, generate a profitable business out of it for yourself, while also chasing that perfection out of that product. So all the companies today you have in the industry are working some or the other way. They are now moving towards from waterfall to agile methods. And I think, yeah, as I said, agile is a mindset.
All right, everyone, whoever is on the call, we're really here to answer your questions. Deepak and I can chat, till the kingdom comes. But if you have any questions about his experience, and this is really coming from someone who's gone through the course, it's not, he'll tell you genuinely what he thinks worked and what didn't. So maybe we've talked about some stuff that worked for you, Deepak. What didn't work? There must be some stuff that didn't work.
Yeah, I think that's again, as I said, like as an institution, I've always had huge amount of respect for Harappa School of Leadership, because a lot of people say this one thing about OnePlus smartphones. They always listen to their consumers, and I think that is something good about Harappa as well. As you also mentioned, finance track was something Cohort 1 found some challenges with. You heard us and you started improving it, and now I think Cohort 2 would have had definitely better experiences.
Yes, they did.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So I think, yeah. What I would say, like it's not like it did not work because Harappa didn't provide it. As I said, like any program is only as good as the learner itself. If I can come and the marketing track was super nice, but if I would have been reluctant about learning those principles, leadership track was super nice. If I would not have applied it, it would not have worked for me. So I don't have anything specific to point out, because I also have a habit of looking at things in a holistic picture, and overall, as you say, like all that ends well was well. So for me, everything worked well for me. Things did not work, and I think we did point out earlier, finance track was a challenge. There were definitely other tracks which I found challenges with, like say for example, data was a very it's in general, it's a very complex topic. A lot of people drop out of 11th standard because of not understanding maths. That's a challenge everywhere. So I think data was definitely a challenging. I would not say it did not work for me. I am a person who loves data. I work with data sets. I work with project around data. So I definitely understood, but of course, like when you're sitting down, when you're doing the practical of it, and you're trying to start from basic, while you are already in a professional setup, you are not able to probably invest good amount of time that is needed, and that becomes a challenge. But otherwise, I would say there was nothing that did not work. It was all good for me.
What about,
so that-
we also spent a lot of time on what was called the career track.
yes,
Were there things there that worked for you? This was really a track where we were trying to help people prepare, or also decide and understand
right,
what point they were in their career and what next. And also get ready for interviews or get ready for, get their resume, the one-page resume, the SEO sort of, one-page resume that most organizations look for. Was there anything there that worked for you? Did you attend any of those sessions? Did you have time for that?
if I have to just summarize the whole career track, I would say it changed a lot of things for me. Personally, I would not say there was like a drastic change. I think there is always information available out there. It's just for you to action on it. What personally career track did for me was able to first visualize myself as a product, which I am trying to take to market and trying to give it to a company and say, okay, you know what, I want, say, probably a senior leadership role in your company. If I do not present my resume like a person who wants to work in a senior leadership role, then it is never going to work for me. And so that is something that definitely helped. The services that were provided to us in terms of refining our LinkedIn profiles today, I'll tell you, I feel confident to reshare things on LinkedIn, which I was not earlier because of being an introvert myself. I would think, okay, it's like if I post, someone will say something, someone will think something, but you go ahead and then learn those skills, right? You have to present yourself and stop thinking about what others are going to say. You have to start thinking of yourself as a brand, as a product that you're trying to take up. And career track exactly did that for me. It helped me visualize myself as someone who's trying to reach out in a bigger field than what they are right now, and position myself like that. As you said, like, one pager resume. I made resumes before I joined Harappa, but I learned new ways of building resume, and that is something that was important for me. I would say that you would not hear or you would not know what exactly companies are looking for if you do not put exactly those words in your resume. And that was something very, very critical as an insight that was shared with all of us. It works like that. I have seen people getting job only by just transforming their resume. I've seen them. So that was important for us. That was important for all of us. As like while I was already working when I was with Harappa, it probably didn't I would say did not matter to me so much to transform my resume. But career track pushed me to do that. And I think you guys all provided us services in collaboration with BYOB. They helped us transform our LinkedIn positioning and everything. So today, if you go on my LinkedIn, I also have a different positioning for myself. I figured out, I sat down after Harappa also, once you guys had given us a framework on how to refine our LinkedIn positioning, 3 months later, I again revisited my LinkedIn profile and I said, okay, what do I change? What do I want to change now? What kind of jobs that I want from, like 6 months from now? So I need to start positioning my LinkedIn like that. And that was very important. And of course, all the counseling that was provided to us in terms of going through our resumes and telling us where to work and how to pivot in different organizations, that was also important. So Kanika did really well. I think it was a nice interaction with her when I had spoken to Kanika about my resume and about my career aspirations. Yeah.
So, what about the workload as a working professional? Is it hard? Like you had weekends were fully, your mornings were stuck. Then there were assignments. Does it become difficult to manage? And was there enough application, or do you feel that the program could have done with more or less?
Uh, for me personally, I would say that when I was joining Harappa, I had a timeline planned for myself. I think that was very important, and I think that it helped me a lot in terms of being able to plan myself. I think in the starting of 2022, I had planned that the last 3 months and the first 3 months of 2023 and 2022, I'm going to spend just studying. So those 6 months, I was kind of already in a place where I was transitioning into a new company, and that is the same time Harappa happened for me. So while I was trying to get, familiar with whatever my current organization where I was joining at that point of time, uh, I was learning a lot there, and I was learning a lot at Harappa. Of course, there were days when it was very hectic. I could not make time for what was happening at Harappa, or probably what was happening at my company. There were challenging days, but I would say that, and speaking for the larger group also, because I know in cohort one, a lot of people face these problems, in terms of managing their work life and, your upskilling life, I would say. So that was definitely a challenge, but I think weekend classes definitely help. On Saturday, Sunday, you were able to kind of cover the gap that you were not able to do during the week, because there were some classes during the weekday, and it was kind of a challenge for all of us to, come. But I think that is what you signed up for. Every time I used to feel like I was like, okay, this is exactly what you signed up for. 6 months of just putting yourself in that drill. You don't want to excuse yourself out of it, saying, okay, something is not working for me. There were days, and you just have to give those rest days to yourself. I would say, like, even if when you work out, I'm known for giving analogies, so I'll give you this analogy that when when you go to gym, you have like people work out for like 6 days a week, and the seventh day they will say, okay, this is my cheat day. So as long as you're able to give yourself those cheat days, I think it's okay. You are able to manage yourself. You just have to remind yourself that this is exactly what you signed up for. 6 months of learning, and not saying, okay, this did not work for me, this did not work for me. Of course, everyone is open to their own personal opinions and personal experiences, but I think you have to remind yourself that this is what you signed up for. 6 months of learning.
So now that you've done a program, which was this fast-paced program, what's next, Deepak?
What is next for me?
Are you looking to? I already saw that you've upskilled yourself even more with some product management certifications.
Yes.
But what next? Is he going to take a break and do something else later, or he's going to take just work for some time and then think about?
No, I would say that right now, definitely work is definitely the focus, because as I said, it was a well-timed timeline. I had planned that timeline for myself. Definitely the focus is right now on work, but I am always learning something or the other. While I was at Harappa, I was also, because I had joined this new organization, they had their own trainings and everything going on. And because of attending those trainings, because of what I was learning at Accenture, at Harappa, I kind of now have developed a lot of interest in becoming an agilist, or becoming, a better product manager, better project manager. So I'm always on the look for, what is happening new in that arena, and what are the kind of certifications available there. I have come to know that there is a SAFE certification, SAFE, which is only for agilists. So there are different certifications which I'm planning to. Again, I'll have to just plan my timeline around that. Maybe again towards the end of the year or something. But yeah, I'm always looking out for something new. And personally, I think I'm just going to focus on work and my music for a while. Just that.
So, when Deepak came to us, they were, in fact, in his batch, there were two of them. There was a poet, and then there was Deepak, who makes music and writes songs, right? Deepak, and he has his own channel on Spotify, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So, how do you balance this whole work-life balance? You're doing this product management, agile, and all that sounds like really like non-creative work, and then there's suddenly like
no, I think I find.
How do you think both are sort of?
No, I have started finding hacks around it. Like I am a person who loves data and who loves creativity. So I try to keep myself in projects where I'm able to, deliver my creative skills. And at the same time, like, I think the key was planning for me. I would really not give enough credit to myself on this. Like, but I think it all happened purely coincidentally for me. I had decided to take a break of 6 months from my music, because I was going to enroll myself in Harappa, and I was going to, switch to a different organization. So I kind of knew that, these 6 months are definite. I'm only going to invest myself into learning, and learning only. And it was planned that as soon as my course get over, as soon as I'm better placed in my current organization, I will again find some time to get myself back into the music, because art is something that is something that I can definitely not leave. I know that for a fact. But it has always been like, as I said, like whatever I learned at Harappa was not just limited to my professional setup. It has made its ways into my music as well. Like now, if I go ahead and start positioning myself as an artist, I have to again look myself as a brand and have to put myself out there, which was again one of the things which I was not, doing when I was still making music. Uh, I was writing songs. I was, yeah, for my friends and people who did listen to it, limited number of people, they found my music good. But again, I did not know how to amplify it, and I was looking for ways. So I have understood those basics. You have to go ahead and market yourself. You have to go ahead and find different arenas for yourself. So that's how I am planning that I'll somehow again find my way to music and start releasing my songs very soon. Yeah.
Okay, I think we're almost at time. If there are any other questions for Deepak, please do let us know. I've also put in some information in the chat if you want to reach out to us, and if you're interested in understanding more about the program, the academic team will be there. One last question, Deepak. Did you actually, one of the things about any management program is not just the education you get, it's also the people you walk away with, the network. And I won't use the word network as people understand it, but more from the perspective of did you take away friends? Did you take away colleagues? Did you take away someone at some point who maybe will be a partner in your, say, music journey, or not music journey, maybe at some point if you want to do something else? Did the cohort leave you with that?
Yes, from cohort one, definitely. Like, because we have like, I think we recently got introduced to cohort two, which is again interaction that we are all looking forward to from cohort one. But cohort one did definitely leave me with some friends. There was Sudhanshu, which he was like a real regular partner with me in projects. Sai Kishan was there. Sushil, who is a very dear friend now, he recently got married, and I also got invited to his wedding. I could not make it there, but those are the connections. Neha is again on call with us right now. Subhanshi, Dr. Subhanshi, she's also a very good friend. Samriddhi and all these people. So as I said, like I think I said it during my speech also, and I'll repeat this again. You can go ahead and learn as many topics that you want on internet in terms of your YouTube videos or whatever, wherever you want to stream. But a live class, just minus the physical classroom experience, I think everything else still remains the same. During the convocation, and it was very great of you guys to arrange that convocation for you, for people from flew away from flew from different parts of the country just for this 4 or 5 hours of function, and they ended up making better friends. We all hung out later on, and we just kind of bonded well. So I think I met some of my cohort one members in Mumbai also recently, and I'm always looking forward to hear from them. So that's good. And I think we also kind of started our own startup group in cohort one. We were like all very enthusiastic about it, and we keep sharing ideas. We are still in touch with some of the people. We are still looking forward to that, and I hope that this whole community is able to at some point generate a lot of new brands and a lot of new businesses out there, and some really great leaders. I'm really looking forward to that. I am really looking forward to meeting cohort 2 and cohort 3 as well very soon. So
Yeah, I know the cohort two was teasing you today and teasing me
yes,
today since we were going to.
it's a very good thing that we ended up making some of the office fans in cohort 1 and cohort 2. We have found some common background there. So yeah, that is again there. You live with people. I would say not network probably, but yeah, you live with people. Yeah.
You have a community.
Yes, you have a community.
Sometimes, it's not necessary that it's a network in that sense of the way, but the community is the start of any network,
Yes.
and
Yes.
that's the important part. All right. So I'd like to thank you so much, Deepak, for doing this on a Saturday. I know we've hogged all your Saturdays and Sundays for a long time, but really appreciate this. And anyone, if you're on the call and you'd like to ask Deepak, you perhaps can reach out to him on LinkedIn and see if and he'll be happy. And I've anyway put in information if you want more information. happy to connect you to a program manager, and they will be talking to you about any questions or doubts that you have. Once again, thank you so much, Deepak.
Thank you.
We appreciate this.
Thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.